God of Destruction. The gods of destruction, Hakaishin, destruction god, also called destroyers in the Funimation dub, are very powerful deities who destroy planets, races, or threats that put the development of their respective universes at risk, as opposed to the supreme kais, the gods of creation, who create and fill planets with life, in order to maintain the balance of the universe. Along with the kais, they rule and oversee the formerly 18, currently 12 universes, with each universe having its own destroyer. Unlike the angels and the supreme kais, with whom they work alongside, and who are all members of the same species, respectively, both being naturally divine, the gods of destruction vary widely in species, with none sharing the same species, except for Beerus and Kampa, who are twins, and are mortal-turned-divine individuals from naturally mortal species. Originally, there was a god of destruction for each of the then-existing 18 universes until Xeno destroyed 6 of them, leaving only 12 at the time of their introduction in Dragon Ball Super. Once every millennium, the kais and the gods of destruction go to each other's realms and hold a coordination meeting. In some occasions, the gods can also come together to deal with threats to existence or stability of their universe or universes. Gods of destruction, due to being significantly stronger than kais by nature, are usually more capable of dealing with universal threats than the kais themselves. However, they seem to have no obligation to heed the commands of kais, and thus tend to be whimsical as to which threats to eliminate. Despite their almost absolute authority, even the gods of destruction have restrictions. They are not allowed travel through time or allow anyone else to. They are also prohibited from fighting each other unless requested or authorized in a safe area, as they can easily destroy their universes if doing so. In fact, if a god of destruction violates these restrictions or isn't doing their job to the best of their ability, Xeno has the authority to remove or even erase them from the position and appoint a new destroyer to replace them. Personality. Though the gods of destruction may enjoy their duty, some going as far as to revel in it, they are not inherently evil, despite what their title suggests, as some can be somewhat benevolent, and do not seem to revel in their destruction but instead use their powers to enforce justice in their own universe by destroying only planets or anything which they consider evil, and are actually well-mannered and kind-hearted when in a good mood or at ease. Also, at least in the cases of Beerus and Kampa, food is their natural way to calm down and socialize, with them going as far as becoming friends with mortals if they are pleased well enough, though they still remain serious and do not joke around when doing their job. Also, unlike angels, and like the supreme kais, they share the emotions that mortals possess and are prone to the same revolt and rage, which may cause them to commit abuse of their power, injustice, evil, and tyranny. While the gods of destruction are generally fearless of deities and mortals alike, they are shown to respect both the two Xenos and the Grand Minister due to their greater position and power. This fear causes them to ironically behave in a manner similar to how mortals and lower deities react when in the presence of a god of destruction or a similarly powerful and/or high-authority entity. While gods of destruction may destroy any individuals that oppose them or causes them trouble through their actions, they may spare mortals whom they find useful even if they are evil, as Beerus tolerated Frisia and his empire despite Frisia being pure evil to the core, though this was due to Frisia's willingness to serve Beerus as his agent of destruction due to his fear of Beerus' power, which was so great that King Cold ordered both his sons to never oppose Beerus. Similarly, though he was disgusted by Frost's true nature, Kampa was willing to support him if he helped Team Universe 6 win the Tournament of Destroyers. However, gods of destruction may tolerate such individuals due and only due to their power and ability to follow their instructions, as Beerus disliked the scions of planet Vegeta mainly due to King Vegeta's stinginess and his being foolish enough to try and deceive him, instead of simply following his orders, as the Scion King had tried to keep the universe's most comfortable pillow for himself rather than deliver it as the god of destruction asked, which likely contributed to Beerus' decision to order Frisia to destroy planet Vegeta, while someone like Frisia would have been more likely to follow Beerus' instructions to the letter, which may be why Beerus tolerated him. Beerus, however, allowed the surviving scions to live, as they were good people who possessed power greater than Frisia, and he even allowed Goku and Vegeta to train on his planet due to his seeing them both as capable, now rivaling him in strength, although this was mainly due to knowing they had little desire to usurp or kill him and were unlikely to misuse their godlike powers. Additionally, even if they befriend mortals, gods of destruction are no more obligated to help them than their divine counterparts, and some such as Beerus will even refuse to assist them on principle, though this is mainly for their benefit, as gods of destruction destroy mainly to encourage growth among the mortal population of their universe. This makes Beerus' refusal is to prevent Bulma and the Z fighters from relying on him to save the Earth from every crisis they can't handle, although this only applies to dealing with threats as Beerus may help them in indirect ways and may destroy villains if they irritate himself. In fact, one of Beerus' reasons for helping Goku kill Frisia by allowing Whis to assist was so Goku could correct his mistakes that had resulted in Earth's destruction, as it was Goku's naivety and overconfidence that lead him to underestimate Frisia's ruthlessness. Beerus later decided he preferred Goku and his friends over the return of Frieza and his empire, only having Frieza revived after he assisted Team Universe 7 in winning the Tournament of Power, even when it meant working alongside his hated enemies, though Beerus was fully aware that Frieza would seek his revenge once revived and only joined the team to save himself from being erased. However, Beerus was simply honoring the agreement that Goku made with Frieza, though Beerus likely trusted Goku and Vegeta to take care of Frieza and his empire, given that he was likely to seek revenge on them anyway. Beerus was even less obligated to help Frieza when he was still in power, and Champa felt no obligation to assist Frost if he failed, as he remarked his dislike of Frost's evil nature, only willing to assist him as long as his power was an asset to him. Champa, however, had no problem with attempting to destroy Frost once he and the rest of Team Universe 6 lost the Tournament of Destroyers. However, some gods of destruction actually despise evil, such as Belmod and, to a lesser extent, Sidra, thus are less likely to tolerate such individuals except in only the most extreme circumstances such as the Tournament of Power. They, but not all, are shown to occasionally be short-tempered, to the extent that even the angels know to steer clear from their path when their lords are pushed to the breaking point. Additionally, in the manga, with Belmod planning to retire, he was more willing to find a successor. Though Beerus shows no indication he plans on retiring, he has taken an interest in Vegeta's potential and even starts training him during the Granola the Survivor saga, even confessing the Scion Prince of his role in ordering Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta. Through Beerus' training, Vegeta is able to achieve a new powerful form which he dubs Ultra Ego. However, this is partially motivated by a competition with Whis, who has been training Goku in how to fully utilize autonomous Ultra Instinct as his normal state, to determine which different discipline is superior, Ultra Ego or Ultra Instinct. The gods of destruction are linked to the Supreme Kais of their universe, and, if all of the Supreme Kais were to die, the god of destruction would too, as a way to maintain the balance of the respective universe. Only the deities themselves and their assistants possess such knowledge, and only few outside superior high ranks including mortals have been entrusted with this knowledge. The gods of destruction are less vulnerable than the Supreme Kais in that sense, since they can continue to live on, as long as even a single Supreme Kai exists in their universe, whereas the death of a god of destruction would instantly kill all Supreme Kais, regardless of how numerous. This link does not extend to the apprentice Supreme Kais, however, as Gauss's death caused Rumshi to die despite Zamasu still being alive. Beerus, the god of destruction from Universe 7, is the one who sealed Old Kai in the Z-Sword. His administrative zone includes planet Earth. Each god of destruction has an angel attendant, like Whis for Beerus and Vados for Champa. Despite the lifelink and status as a god of destruction is not obligated to show respect or treat his or her associated Supreme Kai kindly. Beerus, for example, constantly belittles his universe's Kais and even went so far as to seal away Old Kai for some unknown offense. In the manga, Rumshi threatens to kill his universe's Kai, Gawasu, if their summons to Zeno's palace was to berate their handling of Zamasu. Interestingly, while Beerus is careful to ensure no harm comes to his universe Supreme Kais, he never came into conflict with Kid Buu despite the Majin threatening to destroy them all on at least 2 occasions. However, on both occasions, Beerus was presumably asleep and unaware his universe's Supreme Kai were in trouble. Thus in Universe 7, the Supreme Kai are much more vulnerable when Beerus is asleep. In the manga, it is stated that all the other gods of destruction hold a grudge against Beerus because of his carelessness of falling asleep during Zeno's all-universe hide-and-seek tournament, an antic that made Zeno furious, and those gods of destruction had to quickly plan to alleviate his anger, a life-or-death decision that they would always hold Beerus responsible for. Candidates and substitutes. Despite their immense power and longevity, gods of destruction are known to be capable of dying. Due to this, their angel attendant will seek out and train potential replacements. The candidates do not have to be of a divine race, as mortals are selected as candidates if they possess adequate power. The only known god of destruction candidate, Hakaishin Koho, so far is top of Universe 11, although before, Jiren was chosen, but turned down the offer. Goku and Vegeta of Universe 7 were both offered candidate positions by Whis, but refused the offer due to simply wanting to become stronger on their own. Candidates, once chosen and accepted, can take on the power of destruction with training from an angel to control its power and godly ki. Gods of destruction do not always work alone in their destruction and sometimes can appoint someone else the duty of destroying, thus becoming an agent of destruction, Hakai no Daiko. The only example of this in Universe 7 being Frieza, who prior to age 739 was known to aid Beerus in destroying things, and was also told by him to destroy planet Vegeta. Beerus also allowed Frieza to maintain an galactic empire which controlled 70% of Universe 7. Presumably Beerus also tolerated the activities of other members of the Frieza clan such as King Cold and Cooler, which is supported by King Cold advising both of his sons not to challenge Beerus, which may have played a role in allowing them to maintain a vast empire as they respected Beerus' position as Universe 7's destroyer. After Frisia's resurrection, however, Beerus was less inclined to allow Frisia to act freely, as he allowed Whis to turn back time to prevent the Earth's destruction due to his love of Earth cuisine and having become acquainted with Goku and his friends. In Universe 11, the Pride Troopers work under and or are overseen by Belmod and, therefore, are also agents of destruction, though in their case, to destroy evil only. They also work with and even protect the Supreme Kai if need be. In the lead-up to the Tournament of Power, Sidra had Universe 9's assassins act as agents of destruction, gifting their leader with some energy of destruction to use. It should be noted that in Dragon Ball GT, the Lud cult worships the machine mutant Lud whom they have been misled to believe is their universe's god of destruction, though in reality Lud is little more than a pretender who has usurped Beerus' title. Fortunately for Lud and his cultists, Beerus does not appear in GT. In Super Dragon Ball Heroes, World Mission, in an alternate timeline there is a Universe 6 counterpart of Mr. Satan who unlike his Universe 7 counterpart is strong enough to be considered next in line to become Universe 6's God of Destruction and is actually stronger than the Time Patrollers Xeno Goku and Xeno Vegeta, thus proving that his selection as a God of Destruction candidate is well deserved. This also reinforces the idea that pure Earthlings can become sufficiently powerful to become a God of Destruction candidate as shown by the Earthling Future Warrior in Xenoverse 2 and the Mr. Satan of Universe 6 in World Mission. Future Trunks Timeline. As a result of the actions of Future Dabura and Future Babidi, all the Kais of Universe 7 have been killed, and by extension, Future Beerus. Also, it is revealed that Future Zamasu and Goku Black have killed the other Supreme Kais from all universes and, by extension, all of the gods of destruction, rendering the evil duo, both of them Kais, as the only remaining gods save for Future Xeno. Due to this, the Kais roles changed radically, taking the gods of destruction's place in destroying worlds for their own evil/selfish goals. Power. The gods of destruction are among the mightiest entities in the multiverse, strong enough to be universally feared, not only by mortals, but even by other gods. While gods of destruction are incredibly powerful beings, they are not invincible and can be defeated or killed in combat. It is also possible for a mortal to surpass them in power, with Jiren of Universe 11 being the first known individual mortal to accomplish this rare feat. Gods of destruction possess the aura of a god and their signature ability is the hakai. Even with training from their guide angel, the autonomous ultra instinct ability is difficult for a god of destruction to properly access, and only Beerus has shown any skill with it. It appears that the lowest level of power required to even be considered as a qualifier to be a god of destruction is power on the level of the perfected Super Saiyan Blue form, as Goku was able to use an imperfect copy of Hakai in this form. Beerus noted Vegeta was strong enough to be a candidate for god of destruction in this form, and top a god of destruction candidate rivaled users of this form in power. Despite each destroyer holding the same authority and standard powers as another, their individual might and combat ability can vary. Kompa is implied by both Vados and Beerus to be weaker than the latter. Belmod, in the anime, and Quitella, in the manga, are said to have previously defeated Beerus in arm wrestling, with Belmod being referred to by Whis as being stronger than Beerus, though Beerus believes he wouldn't lose in actual hand-to-hand combat. In the anime, all gods of destruction possess the potent power of destruction. This power allows gods of destruction to destroy a particular object or being on contact without the need to fight, such as a planet or a criminal Kai, as punishment. All gods of destruction also hold this power. This ability can even destroy non-corporeal entities such as ghosts of deceased beings, as it is capable of obliterating their souls. However, they cannot destroy immortals. The power of destruction can take energy form, whereupon it is known as Energy of Destruction, powerful energy ball that can be used for both destructive and defensive purposes. As shown by Sidra, a god of destruction can grant some of their destructive energies to other beings. This ability is not absolute, however, as powerful entities can resist, nullify or even manipulate the energy of destruction for themselves, as displayed by Frisia and Vegeta. Beerus himself has been shown blowing Sidra's energy of destruction away easily. In the manga, beings who can use the god of destruction's signature Hakai technique display this fact through wearing a special golden earring. Unlike in the anime where all gods of destruction can use Hakai, only a few display this earring and ability in the manga, namely, Beerus, Kompa, Belmod, Rumshi and Laquire. Arak possibly wears multiple sets of these on his whiskers, while it unknown whether or not Heles wears one. Contrary to the Supreme Kais, gods of destruction seem to manifest their godhood in raw destructive power, while Supreme Kais manifested in the ability to create and spread life across the universe. Due to the nature of their abilities, gods of destruction have much higher combat abilities than their counterparts. A god of destruction's greatest weakness is their life link to all active Supreme Kais of their respective universe. If all said Supreme Kais are to die, so will their respective god of destruction. They also gain immense longevity of several million years when given the position of being god of destruction. As the lifelink is their Achilles heel, the gods of destruction tend to be protective of the supreme kais of their universe and presumably helps ensure that they will work together, especially when the life of their supreme kai is threatened, as well as keeping the gods of destruction from destroying them, as shown by Beerus choosing to seal old Kai rather than destroy him. After the death of future Shin and future Beerus, Goku Black killed future Gaosu and recruited future Zamasu to enact their Project Zero Mortals, then killed the supreme kais in each universe, resulting in the deaths of the remaining gods of destruction. Despite their power and position, the god of destruction govern each of their universes in different and sometimes more effective ways, as well as working on improving the long-term development and evolution of their universe in a working relationship with the respective supreme kais. This effort helped some universes evade possible destruction in the Tournament of Power due to the better results of developing. Gods of destruction appear to have vast political power in their respective universes. An example in the anime being Frost asking Kampa to have his crimes wiped free. Thus, it can be implied that a god of destruction authority seems to go beyond just universal balancing, and they have recognized political influence. Interestingly, in the manga they are said to be able to eliminate anyone without due process. As a result, in the manga they are beyond the authority of mortal law enforcement such as the Galactic Patrol, as any destruction and death they cause is lawful due to their power and divine status, which presumably extends to their angel attendant, given that Jocko overlooked the use of temporal do-over by Whis under Beerus' orders during the Golden Frisia saga, though he may also have overlooked it due to its use leading directly to Frisia's second death. Ironically, in the manga, it appears that the other gods of destruction who were spared from possible universal erasure are weaker in comparison to other gods of destruction of competing universes, as several of their attacks were ineffective against said gods of destruction, and they were later knocked out by the latter. In Dragon Ball fusions, EX fusions involving Beerus retain his position as Universe 7's god of destruction. Additionally, Kyber Kai retains both Beerus God of Destruction status and Kibito Kai's Supreme Kai status, while Wirus retains Beerus God of Destruction status and Whis Angel Attendant status. Any freeform fusions involving either Beerus and or Kampa also inherit their God of Destruction status. Also during the Timespace tournament, Beerus asserted his authority as God of Destruction within the Timespace Rift first to stop the Timebreaker-controlled Grade 8 Broly after it revived following his battle with Tekka's team, and after Ultra Pinach destroyed the Timespace Rift and killed Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Beerus had Whis use Temporal Do-Over, allowing to deflect Ultra Pinach's attack, forcing him to flee in terror. Adult Goku and Vegeta stop Beerus from destroying Ultra Pinach, as his fusees Pinach, Wanta, and Paprika are innocent, as Cell and Frisia control the fusion. In Dragon Ball Heroes, gods of destruction are shown to possess the ability to telekinetically throw small planets when using Super Star Break. Transformation. In both the manga and anime, a state is attained by one who has received God of Destruction training and has gained the ability to use the powers of one. In order to access this transformation, one must make the conscious decision to embrace destruction. This can also change the user's mentality, making him/her sadistic in nature and putting the user at risk of being undermined by his/her own ego. In the anime and Heroes manga, God of Destruction candidates are able to channel the full force of their energy of destruction, allowing them to access a destroyer form. In this state, in the case of Top, the user's body gains a large increase in muscle mass and definition. The user's skin tone becomes much darker and his/her scara turn light purple. The user also gains a red symbol identical to the cuirass of a God of Destruction of a particular universe on his/her chest, extending to the midsection. The user's aura is purple in color and completely made of energy of destruction, allowing anything it touches to be instantly destroyed. They can utilize energy of destruction for offensive and defensive purposes like coating his/her body in aura and strengthening their attacks in order to overcome other opponents. When the user is fully charged up in this state, the markings on their body turn a glowing purple color. In the manga, those trained in the ways of destruction are able to use the Ultra Ego transformation. The user gains larger, more defined muscles, their hair becomes spikier and their brow ridges become hairless and very pronounced, similar to that of Super Saiyan 3. They also gains colored eyes, irises with visible pupils.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.